Hey guys, so for today's video, I have some new makeup that I wanted to try out together on camera for the first time today. Some of these products are new, some have been out for a little bit, but let me tell you what I have and what I'm most excited about. The product that I'm most excited to use today is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Skin Tint Stick. I think I'm gonna love this, so I have high hopes for it. I also have the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, which I've been using a few times off camera. I have these new highlighters by Huda Beauty. They have like this beautiful like tiger packaging. I'm so excited to show you these. I also have some new lip products from Catrice Cosmetics, so maybe try one of these today. And then just for funsies, since this palette is still new, I figured I would try to do more of a neutral kind of everyday look with the Anastasia Fall Romance palette. I'm excited to use some new makeup, so let's zoom in and get started. So I have no makeup on my face right now, and I always start with my brows, and I've been trying out this new laminating brow gel. It's by Too Faced. It's the Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax. I received this in a PR package recently, and I honestly didn't even know they had a clear brow gel like this. If you watch my videos, you know I love a good clear brow gel, so I've used this probably 3 times now, and I do feel like it does a good job holding my brows up, but it is one of those formulas where if you brush it too much, it gets a little white and crusty, if you know what I mean. So I like to brush that through, take a spoolie and really press my hairs down into my face, and then just taking my finger and really pressing my brow hairs down. I always say this, my brows will look crazy at first, but then they will calm down, I promise. So obviously I don't like the little white crusties if you use too much of this product or brush it out too much. Like that's kind of a downside about it. It kind of reminds me of the Refi brow gel. I tried the Refi brow gel, I want to say in like 2021, I think, because I saw a lot of people talking about it then, and I just could not get it to work for me, and it always gave me the little white flakes. So I've been a huge fan of the NYX brow glue, in case you're wondering, and I have no issues with that product at all, but I'm pretty much out of it, so that's why I'm up for trying some new clear brow gels. Now I'm just gonna lightly fill in the bottom of my brows, and I've been using the Tarte brow pencil. Did you guys see the new multi-dimensional like shimmery shadows that Tarte is coming out with? I saw it on his TikTok, I think, and it's like these 2 super glittery kind of eyeshadow toppers, but they're in a loose formula, and right away I was super intrigued, and I don't know, I might end up picking one up because it just looked so pretty. All right, my brows are lightly filled in. Now let's do the skin, which I'm most excited for today. So first I'm gonna start with primer, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. So I bought this product myself, and I feel like I haven't seen many people talk about it. I feel like people are still talking about the Hydro Grip. Is that what it's called? Or is that Melt's name? Power Grip. Oops, wrong brand. Anyways, I feel like people are talking about the Hydro Grip. I just said it again, didn't I? Power Grip. So I bought this myself, and I bought it because I needed another pore filling primer. It's not like my pores are huge, but I just kind of like the smooth kind of blurring effect that a pore primer gives. I have the one from Rare Beauty, but I just feel like it doesn't do exactly what I want, and I enjoyed the e.l.f. Putty Primer in the tub. I just didn't enjoy scooping it out, and it was kind of an interesting texture. So when they came out with this in a liquid formula, I was pretty excited. So I've been using this on my face ever since I've got it, so I've probably used it about 5 times or so, and I've really been loving how all of my foundations are looking on top of it. But I gotta say, it's a little bit more liquidy than I thought it would be. Can you see this kind of coming out there? So like, it's a lot thinner than I thought. It's like, it's slowly dripping. I guess for some reason, I thought it would be a little bit thicker, but I mean, I'm not complaining. So I just kind of press that into my pores, around my nose, also kind of right in my T-zone right here. I try to do more of a pressing motion to really work it into my pores. And now the star of the show today is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Skin Tint Stick. So I did buy this myself, and I bought it because I do love the Easy Drop, the original version. It is blurring, a little bit more mattifying, but has a beautiful coverage to it. I really do love this, and so when this one came out, I really wanted to try it, but I kind of stopped myself just because it is in a stick form. I typically don't love stick foundations, that's why I kind of held off for a little bit, but I just like kept thinking about this, and I was like, fine, fine, I'm gonna buy it. So they say this is a light coverage, long wear tint stick with a creamy smooth texture that instantly blurs while melting into skin for a natural finish. See, that just sounds amazing, right? So I bought the shade 5 because that's what I wear in this version, so I just kind of assumed that the shades would correspond. I have not used this yet. This is my very first time together on camera. Let's like zoom in here and get close and personal though. So I guess I'm just gonna start. Ooh, that feels really creamy. I feel like I just do 3 swipes. I don't know. I'm gonna take my BK Beauty 101 brush. Okay, that blended out a lot faster than I thought it would. I'm gonna zoom back out here and just do that much. It does glide on really, really easily. Okay. First of all, very happy with the shade match and the color. It does seem to match the Ease Drop liquid version. My skin looks so good right now. I can still see the texture of my skin, but I just naturally have skin texture and little bumps, but like the rest of my face just looks like skin. This is pretty. Again, here is super up close on this side. Like, you know, I got these little spots still peeking through, but that really does not bother me. Let's do the other side. I want to see if I can like paint my whole face and then blend it out. You know, see how fast the formula dries. So I'm kind of doing more of a pressing motion with my brush. And I pretty much only use this brush for foundation now. I don't use a sponge, so that's why I'm not trying it with the sponge today. I do also want to add, I have more normal to dry skin, but like I said, I have skin texture and some acne. And I do agree with the more natural finish. It's not too glowy, it's not matte. First impression, I'm very happy with it, and I'm glad that I like it because I spent like so long thinking about it. So at this point, I'm happy it was worth it. So normally I would go in and kind of spot conceal any little bumps that are still peeking through, but I kind of want to skip that today just to really see how the foundation wears on its own. Now I'm going to add some cream bronzer with my Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in light medium, and I'm using a BK Beauty 109 brush. You can see how big of a pan I have in this product. I love it. And I picked this for my cream bronzer because this also has another skin-like finish like the foundation does, so I think these would pair really nicely together. It's another formula that just melts into the skin. It looks so dang good. Now I'm going to brighten my under eyes with the Sigma Color Correcting Duo in light medium, and I'm using the BK Beauty A506 brush. This is another product I'm running pretty low on, but I did buy the e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener because I love the Sigma one. This is now my second one of it, but I feel like I'm going through it really, really fast, and so I just kind of wanted to try like a cheaper version of a similar product. Ooh, what if we do a side-by-side? Because I just did Sigma on that eye. Let's do that for funsies, for science. Okay, I'm just wiping off that A506, trying to get the product off of this brush, and let's try this e.l.f. one. I've used it a few times. Let's see how it compares. I mean, it's definitely brightening. Is there any difference? I don't know. Do you guys see any difference? If I have to look that hard to see a difference, they probably look the same, so that's good. I'm gonna kind of jump around the face a little bit. I do have a new blush to try, and it's not new. Like, this product I think has been out for years now. I just never tried it before. And it's the Ilia multi-stick in the shade Dreamer. And this thing is just so dang cute, so it can be used on the cheeks and the lips. And I believe these are pretty sheer, so we'll see how much really shows up here. I'm just gonna use that same 109 brush and tap right over. I'm also going to try just taking it directly from the stick. Sometimes this works a little better. I do gotta say though, I don't tend to love stick face products, but I did receive this in PR. And I've always wanted to try more from Ilia. I know some people really love their, is it a skin tint? Yeah, the liquidy skin tint. But I agree that does look sheer, but definitely add a little more glow to my face. I think I would like this more on a no makeup kind of day. But I am going to add it to the other cheek to make things even. It doesn't seem like it's picking up my foundation underneath, so that's really nice. I think I want to add more cream blush. Ooh. One second. So you guys know the new Sigma lip creams, right? These guys just came out and they're very hydrating, very pigmented on the lips. And I saw on their TikTok that they use this as a cream blush. And I was like, what? No way. What about Dusty Rose? I want to do that. Also might be a terrible idea. And I tend to not like blushes that have this kind of applicator, but you know, I'm just kind of playing around today. Let's see what happens. Okay, the pigment is there. And again, it's not picking up any of my foundation. Wow. Okay. This is so funny because this product is not marketed as a cream blush, and I never would have thought to do this if I didn't see that TikTok. This is so funny. It totally works though. Again, I'm just kind of jumping around the face today, but let's do concealer. I'm going to take my current favorite, which is the Natasha Denona High Glam. Just a little bit right there. And I use the shade RN3. And I'm blending that out with the BK Beauty 110. And whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to bring on my eyelids. And then I always like to go back to my blush brush / cream bronzer and just kind of tap over where my concealer meets those cream face products. Now before I set anything, I'm going to quickly prime my eyes with the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. I'm running so low on this, I'm scraping the edges. I can't get all the way down to the bottom. I tried to take the stopper out the other day and I just could not do it. Then I'm going back to my BK Beauty A506 and just blending that out. Now I'm going to set my under eyes and lids with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder in pink. And I'm using a BK Beauty 112 for this. And then I'm also just going to set the T-zone area of my face. I really like how the Fenty stick is not too glowy. Like I don't really feel the need to set my entire face like I normally do. Now let's zoom in even further and do an eye look using the Anastasia Fall Romance palette. I'm going to start the shade Fireside on a Sigma E57, and that's going to go all over my lid. Now I posted a video the other week where I used this palette for the first time. I did 3 eye looks and swatches. If you want to watch that video, I'll link it down below for you. I'm just layering up Fireside, by the way. In my video, a lot of people said to check out Ali Glein's video with this palette, and I watched her video and she also did 3 looks with the palette. And it's funny because her and I have such different makeup styles. I would say that my makeup is a little more dramatic. I like to really play with eyeshadow, where her makeup does lean on the softer side. It's just funny comparing our 2 types of looks. Like hers were definitely softer, which kind of inspired me today to try to do a softer look with this palette, because I do have a tendency to be like heavy-handed and I just want to add like more and more shades and just make things so fun and colorful. But I gotta say, I'm loving this Fireside shade all over the lid. Now I'm going to take the shade Ember on a BK Beauty 202. Tap off the excess. So I'm using a very light hand and I'm just going to run this back and forth in my crease. And I'm using a big fluffy brush like this because I want the shade to be very diffused in my crease. Adding a little more Ember to the outer part of my lid just to deepen this up. And I'm really using a tiny amount of eyeshadow here. Like I just barely dip my brush into the shadow. You really have to use a light hand if you want a light eyeshadow application from this palette. You know I've only used 2 shades for this eye look, but maybe I was a little harsh on this palette in my video. I'm gonna admit it. I'm liking how this looks. And yes, it's just a pretty simple neutral eye look, and you could probably use so many other palettes to create this kind of look, but I'm liking it. Now I'm going to take Embark on a BK Beauty 207. This is like a domed pencil brush, and I'm going to run that across my lower lash line. I am picking up a little bit more shadow because I kind of want to deepen this up. If I need to blend a little bit more, I'm just going back to my fluffy brush and softening this out. Now I'm going to take Crimson on a little flat brush. This is a Sigma E15. And I'm just going to wiggle that in between my lower lashes. And then I'm also stamping that along my top lash line. I am loving how this color looks along the entire lash line. It's so pretty. And then I'm going to take my little domed pencil brush with nothing else on it and just lightly smudge over that line, just to make it a little bit more smoky. It's getting really dark. I need to change my lighting. 1 second. Okay, that is better. Now I want to highlight my eyes, and I have to show you these new highlighters by What's Up Beauty. So these are the Serengeti highlighters, and there are 2 shades. Turn down my lighting a little bit more so you could see the beautiful image inside this highlighter. So pretty. Okay, I'm trying to hold both at one time. It's a little tricky, but the Safari Sunset shade is a little bit deeper than the first one. So I'm going to take Safari Sunset on my E33. Just pop that in my inner corner. I'm going to try this on my face after I do this step, but that is really pretty. It's a lot softer of a highlighter than I've been using. I've been super into the Rare Beauty highlighters, but those ones, like, they're pretty intense. So if you like more of a softer highlight, you'd probably really like this. But now let's try it on the cheek. I'm going to use my Sigma F03, and I'm actually going to swirl it all together and see what we get. And it's like not powdery, like nothing is coming off my brush and I'm tapping it. Let's just go on the cheekbone. Yeah, like I said, it's a little softer than I'm used to, so I don't know if like I'm obsessed with it because I just like a blinding highlight, but it definitely did give a really pretty glow. I might as well try the other shade though, so I'm going to take the lighter one and again swirl it all together, because maybe that first shade was a little bit too deep for me. Maybe I'd like this better. I think it's showing up kind of subtle on camera, but this one's definitely a little bit whiter than this side. Now that my eyeshadow is done, I feel like I want more blush and something a little bit more mattifying, so I'm going to take my KVD Foxglove. And I'm using a BK Beauty A507. Now let's move on to a newish mascara that I got as a little free gift from Sephora. It's the Huda Beauty One Coat Wow. This cute little mini, but I think this is a perfect size to try a mascara. Here is what the wand looks like. It does have that hourglass shape to it, but I like the look of these bristles. They do look a little bit more rubbery. I'm gonna start by curling my lashes. I have used this mascara a few times and I do like how my lashes look with it on, but I did find that it flakes pretty easily, so let's see how it goes today. I'm trying really hard not to get it on my eyelids. Alright, that is how my lashes look up close. It's not bad, but I prefer my Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. I went ahead and finished my mascara. I also added a nude liner to my waterline. It's from Tarte. It's the Double Take Awake right down there. I do think my lashes look okay, but like I said, they definitely look better with the Tower 28 mascara, so this is not gonna be a favorite probably. That's kind of one thing I like about mascara is that I feel like you know right away whether or not you're gonna like it just based off of first application. So I decided I do want to set a couple areas of my face. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, and I'm using a BK Beauty 108. And I'm kind of going around my blush and bronzer. You know how I said I didn't add my spot concealer on my face? It's kind of throwing me off because I just realized I do that every time I do my makeup. I will always add a spot concealer to really cover up my little blemishes. And me not doing it today, I'm like, I keep noticing them, but I'm like, that's okay. Like, my skin doesn't have to be 100% perfect all of the time, you know? I have another new product to talk about before we do lips, and it is the Caliray Surf Proof Setting Spray. So ever since this came out, I was seeing so many people rave about it, and I think recently when I saw Jamie Page rave about it, I tend to really like the products that she recommends. We have a very similar skin type. I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna love this, right? So you gotta shake it up, and it is a hydrating and long wear setting spray. Okay, here are my thoughts. I don't really like the mister on this. Personally, I feel like it's too fine of a mist and I can't like feel it on my face. Watch this, right? Like, it's so like wispy and airy. And then here's my Urban Decay All Nighter. That's like my go-to long wear setting spray. I'm actually like really low on this. See how this one just like, it just like gets your face more, I feel like. I really need to buy those fans that people use because sometimes I just spray way too much setting spray on my face. like right then. But I haven't really tested this as a long wear setting spray yet. Like I just haven't had a day yet where I need to have my makeup last all day. So I need to try that soon. I'm also filming late tonight. I'm filming at like 5 o'clock. So far I don't love it as much as I wanted to or thought I would, but I'm gonna keep using it for sure. Now for lips, like I said, I have this package from Catrice, and honestly, I have not used much from this brand before. So we have these Marbleicious liquid lip balms. Oh my gosh, Marbleicious, that's kind of funny. So it has like a marble finish in there. I'm pretty sure, didn't Givenchy come out with this kind of product last year, 2 years ago, I want to say? So I don't know if it's supposed to be like a dupe or just whatever. Like I've never used that one either, so I can't really compare the two. That's just based off the looks of this product. Then we have the Lip Loving Caring Lip Serum. I don't really need a product like this, so I'm going to skip on that. And then there's these tinted lip oils, and there's 5 shades of these. The one that I did want to try is the Marbleicious one in the shade Don't Be Shaky, that kind of more nude looking one. Guess I'm just going to start by lining my lips. And I'm just going to try this on its own. Why not? Little doe foot there. It's not super thick. That's pretty. It's just like a pretty nude gloss. Definitely something I would use. Okay, I actually like that a lot. Very kind of natural looking lip, not a lot of product on it. All right, that is everything I wanted to try today or just show you guys. I'll keep you guys updated on these new products that I used today on my face, but I just gotta say, I am shocked that I got this look from the Fall Romance palette. Like I really did deepen up that look with the crimson shade, but how the look was before with just Fireside and Ember, like in my crease on my lid, makes a very, very beautiful, soft, everyday look. And I really thought you couldn't get a soft look from this palette, so I'm pretty impressed by that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.